Good morning. It's a beautiful morning here in the Philippines. Right, that's the house. But before we look at the house, this is where we are. That's the live volcano, the Canlahan. So that's a live volcano here on Negros Occidental. This is our view. There's music playing, so I'll just try and talk over the music. Right. That got me as well, guys. This end wall. Now, as you see, the roof overlaps there quite a good bit. Now, the roof there actually stops. And then you've got a straight wall. So you've got a straight wall there on the house. Let me just take this down. So that's what you've got. You've got a straight wall there on the house. So I found that strange. You know, when I came to buy this house, I found that really strange. And I did ask about that wall, and the girlfriend said, that's a firewall. And I said, what's a firewall? Now, I'd have to ask a builder, if I actually do see the builder sooner or later, you know, not the guy that built this house, the builder what did all the work on this house. Because if you look, that's a new roof. When we came here, that were a shell. There were no windows. You can see that bamboo fence there. That's what were over the windows. So that house was just a shell. You know, it were derelict, it were a shell, it were all overgrown. And what we did is we had a new, well, actually, you'll see the previous videos. I've got previous videos on this house, guys. So what happened was, we came to look at this house. Now, this area where we are now, they're all quite nice people. They're professional people. So, moving to the Philippines, yeah, I'm sure you'll enjoy it, you know. You'll learn a lot. You might think you know it, you know a lot. But believe me, you won't learn till you get here. Because that were me, you know, I watched videos 3-4 years. Watched all the foreigners in the Philippines, a lot of the foreigners, you know, and then when you come to the Philippines, yeah, you can learn a good few things by watching videos. But that's my point. Why didn't they actually make this house shorter so you could actually walk around the house? And why did they make that so it doesn't overhang the roof? Why did they just make it flat like that? You know, I ain't got a clue. I honestly ain't got a clue. And all I know is that's called a firewall. So, right, so thinking about it, I'm thinking, right, they bought this land, they built this house, which is a big house for a Filipino, and I'm thinking they bought this land for this house, and what really happened is they built the house too big. In other words, they'd only got so much land, and I think they went to the end here, and then they probably thought, well, you know, just build a straight wall straight up and don't overhang. You know, don't overhang the roof to help to protect the walls. And I'm thinking why they did that is because budget. Because when I came here, guys, right, you know, I met the lady, the guy that had this house built. But like I said, it didn't look like it looks now. You know, well, it did and it didn't. For a start, that's a new roof, what we had put on. The roof what we're on, it were, you'll see in the previous videos, it were full of holes, it had big holes in it, it were all rotten and falling to bits. So, you know, actually, I'll have a walk up to the house. I said, guys, you know, that roof were falling to bits. There were no windows in, and it were like a derelict shell. Now, that's down to budget. You know, what happens here in the Philippines is a Filipino, not just a Filipino, could be an English guy, could be a foreigner, it could be you, a guy from the UK, America, wherever you come from. You know, it cost a little money, that house. Now, if I were to buy that house in England, wow, with this view, living out here, it would cost £1 million. It would cost £1 million to buy that house. It cost a fortune just to buy that land. Now I'll give you a quick idea. Them blocks there, they're okay, they're not fantastic blocks. They're 12 pesos a block. Right, so if you're going to come out here and build an house, you're a foreigner, yeah, you can easily do it. You know, you'll bring 10,000, you'll bring $20,000, 20,000 English pounds. You can easily build that house and you can live out here. You have to spend your money wisely. You know, I mean, if you're renting, why rent when you can buy? But then that comes down to, have you got a good partner? There's a lot to it, guys, because actually we had a lot of help with that house. Right, we got told about this house by a school teacher, and we got help to buy this house. And this house cost, when we bought this house, it cost 130,000 pesos. That's very, very cheap. Right, and then that weren't the end of it, were it? You know what I mean? Then we had to have all the roof done, we had to have all inside cemented, we had it rendered, we had tiles. So it cost us a lot of money actually, but not a lot of money in the terms of, you know, European standards. You know, it's a cheap house and you can make it a lot better. But it's come where we've run out of budget and we ain't got the money to finish the house. You know, if you've got 1,000 quid, 2,000 quid, you could actually build an house similar to that, or could you? Right, let me try and explain. When I first came to look at this house, you know, I didn't just come and look at this house. I had a lot of help with this house, and I also came back 3 or 4 times a week, you know, to check what the people that live here were like. You know, I just didn't buy the land and then flit in and build an house. I came and I made sure people were fine. But like I said, the school teacher that helped us to buy this house, to buy the shell, because that's what it was a shell. And it's still a bit of a shell. It's not a shell anymore because it's, you know, it's rendered inside, it's got tiles inside, you know, you can live in it, as you can see. So but it was just a shell, and I had to climb through the window actually, and I bought this house, guys. So like I said, there's a lot of professional good people here. Now if you're going to flit here into the Philippines, you need to know where you're going, because you know you can actually go into some dangerous places. I mean, you never see where I go really. You see, if I'd got a GoPro, you know, things I get up to and I see, you know, I do actually go into some really dangerous places, but you know, they're not on video. So it's a safe place, the Philippines, but you know, you have to be careful. But here, you know, I've left windows open, I've left bike in this field, I've left the keys in the bike's still there in the morning. You know, it's a safe place. Do you need a gun when you come here? No, there's a lot of foreigners, not a lot. I've met 1 or 2 foreigners, and you know, when they find out I live in province, oh, you have to be careful, it's dangerous. Well, actually, it's not that dangerous living out here in the province. You know, if you live in a subdivision, it's more dangerous, because that's where the thieves sit, the subdivisions, because that's where the money is, as they see it in their eyes. So yeah, I found it strange. The end of this house, the wall, you know, we have a walk up to the house. So, I'm in field actually. I found it very strange. I thought, well, why didn't they make the house a little shorter so they could walk round it? And actually, why didn't they make the house like that? You know, like I said, we've had all this roof put on. Why didn't they make the house like that so it overhangs? They actually didn't make it so it overhangs. Let me just take this video down. So the cost of this house, actually, I'd have to add it all up. But I'll also tell you something as well about cost of this house. I'll try and get this without getting kids in. So that's it, look. That's the end of the house, that's the wall, that's called a firewall. But I don't know, and that bamboo there, you'll see in the videos, all the windows were covered with that. You know, I mean, it's a cheap house. Like I said, wow, you need $1 million bucks to buy this house. And it's cheap here in the Philippines if you've got a good partner. So yeah, that's what you would have thought. You know, and there was no land with this at all. And I did ask if I could actually buy some of that land here at the back. It's fenced off now. The guys fenced it off. But you can see, it's all overlapping. And I did actually climb through this window when I first came to look at this house. So I did actually ask, you know, is that land there for sale? It might be for sale, but I ain't got money to buy it now. You know, so if I bought a bit of that land, it'd be absolutely excellent. So that's what I actually thought. But right, here's the thing. When I first came to buy this house, I actually got through that window there. And where the dog's there, they're looking for food. That's what they want. They want feeding. And that's what she's doing. She's looking round in the kitchen, dog. She wants some food. She's greedy. Really greedy. Right, but that's pups for you. So, I climbed through the window and I was looking around this house. You know, because I weren't sure if I was going to buy this house. I was going to actually buy some land. Now, that's a good option, guys. If you come here to the Philippines, it's a good option. Buy land and then build your own house. Then, you know, but this house was exactly built how it is now. I didn't have this house built. What happened was, the lady that had this house built, obviously she ran out of budget. They didn't have the money to finish it. And that's why I think they've done a straight wall there and they haven't carried on with roof and gone out with roof. And I think, you know, that's probably why that wall at the end there is just flat. You know, it goes straight up. There's just no overhang. And that's it. You know, you were curious. I'm curious, but that's the only thing I can actually think of. You know, they run out of budget, or they thought, well, let's go straight up with roof, with wall, and then, you know, it'll save us, it might save us, I don't know, 5,000 pesos on going over. So that's the only thing I can think why they built it like that. And the other thing why they actually built it, you know, straight down the wall, is because they run out of land. So they run out of land, they bought this land and they built the house too big, so to speak. You know, they run out of land. You know, so they've come to end here and they've gone, that's it. After that it belongs to a neighbour. So they've just gone straight down with that wall. And that's the only thing I can think. And the girlfriend, it says it's a firewall. No, I ain't got a clue what a firewall is. You know, I ain't got a clue. So that's it, guys. So, the cost of this house, right, cost us... Yeah, I'll go back to cost because that's really important. Like I said, I'll actually reverse the camera. Morning, guys. Well, it's quite early, actually. I was up at 5 o'clock. So, I think it's about 7 o'clock now. There's no music. So, there might be in about 2 seconds' time. So... what happened with the pay, how we bought this house. I'll tell you what happened. I climbed through the window and I looked round the house, came to look at this house about 50 times, at least 50 times, and I kept coming 3 or 4 times a week just to look at this house and, you know, see what were happening around the house. So that's just how I did it. And then I climbed through the window and we got this lady that was selling this house. Now, it weren't the owner, it were a friend of the owner. She actually sells houses and she sells properties. And if I got $1 million pesos, I could actually buy quite a nice bit of land, probably with an house on it. And $1 million pesos, to be honest, it's not really a lot of money. So if you've got $1 million pesos and you come here, you've cracked it, guys. Right, so I got through the window and that's where she came. And there were all that bamboo of it. Doors, and she pulled the door open and I went, hi, hello. She went, hello. Oh, it's a foreigner. So it was something like, oh, it's a foreigner. I said, yeah, I'm a foreigner. And then she chatted to the school teacher, and what she said to the school teacher that helped us to buy this house, because we got it Filipino price. You know, foreigners and Filipinos, it's a different price, believe it or not. So she says, when we bought this house, 130,000 pesos, like I said, we've spent a lot of money in that house, and I'd have to really add it up, you know, running about here, there and everywhere, and it does actually add, the cost does actually add up. But compared to, say, England, wow, could never buy a house like this in England. You'd have to work 20 years of your life just to buy this house in England, and you could never buy this in England. You just could never buy a live volcano, you couldn't buy this type of countryside. You know, you'd have to be born into it, or you just have to have a really good job. So she said if I'd have known it were a foreigner, it would have been at least 200,000 pesos. So she'd have stuck another couple 100,000 pesos on top of the 130,000 pesos. So bear that in mind when you're a foreigner. You know, you've got a girlfriend here. What you need to do is don't show your face, right? Send your girlfriend to the property, to the house, to the land. Let your girlfriend or your girlfriend and a family member buy the land, buy the house, because you know, as soon as you pop up and you're white skinned, you're from America, you're from England, it's just going to go ump, because they think we've got money, which we probably have compared to a Filipino. Don't get me wrong, this is Negros Occidental. There's a lot of rich people here, guys. There's just a lot of rich people. A lot of poor ones, but there's a lot of rich people. So that's what the house actually cost to buy. 130,000 pesos. And I tell you how I got money. I kept going at bank every day and drawing out. Then when I got money, a big lump of money in my hand, I just went and bought the house. But there were solicitors involved in the house. I got solicitors involved in the house. Then I got witnesses. Now I got a couple of school teachers. So we got witnesses, you know, having us buy the house. And to be honest, a foreigner cannot own land. And to be honest, a foreigner cannot buy an house. Right, you just got no rights here whatsoever. So this house is in the girlfriend's name. So basically, that's it. It belongs to her, so to speak, in Filipino law, which that protects the Philippines, which is good for the Philippines. You go to England, you're a foreigner, you can come from wherever you don't even have to go to England. You can go and buy a property offline in England. But you can't do that here in the Philippines. It's protected, which is fantastic for the Filipinos. So that's what it cost. It cost us 130,000 pesos, if I remember correctly. Now, foreigner price, I don't know, put 200,000 on it, because that's what they'd have done. They'd have thought, oh, it's a foreigner bump, so your money's gone straight up. So I think if you're coming here to the Philippines and you want to buy an house, you can buy an house like this. I mean, it's a good idea to buy a shell. In other words, buy an house, breeze block. You know, Filipino can't afford to finish the house, so he sells it with the land. That's a good idea. Or you can just come and buy land, but then just go from there, build your own house. But that's what it cost. But like I said, I would actually have to add all the cost up. Now, a little bit about me. I did come here with quite a bit of money, you know, but it don't last. It don't last. So I did come here with quite a little bit of money, but it doesn't last. And the bank account, not a lot of money. I came with a bit of money. You know, the bank account's basically, it's empty now. So there's nothing left. So I'm waiting to get monetized. Sooner or later I'll be monetized. And then I'll go from there and I'll do the house bit by bit. But the most important thing is, I think, to get the other side rendered and get a builder here just to come and look at it. And you need a good builder as well, guys. You know, you need somebody you can trust. So that's another option. You have to look at a good builder, because it's not always what it seems. So that's it. If you check the previous videos, you'll actually see, like I said, you'll see what the house was like. But here, it's all professional. Most of the people that live here are professional people. Most of the people here are very friendly and nice people. It's not dangerous, you know. It's not dangerous to live here. Okay, there might be one or two people that live around here what are dangerous, but that's everywhere in the world. But it's not a dangerous place. You know, your subdivisions are more dangerous than living out here. But, you know, I'm not somebody what like lives on fear, you know. If I want to go and live somewhere, you know, like Mindanao, oh, very dangerous, it's full of this, it's full of that. If I wanted to go and live there, I'd go and live there, you know, terrorists or not, I would actually go and live there. So, you know, that were it, 130,000 that bought the house. Then that were it, we just had to keep buying, and that's the standard of the house now. But you know, once it's rendered and once we have a wall here, I'll actually reverse the camera, but it does need a good strong wall, because passing here on the road there is big Arctic wagons, and I mean big Arctic wagons. I don't know what they are, 30-40 ton, you know, loaded up with sugar cane, and they're about what, when a wall's actually built at the side of this road here, guys, you're talking, you know, they're probably a foot off the wall, so it's going to need strong foundations and a strong wall. And then I need to fence off, but I'll show you. All this electric, guys, we had put in. All this roof we had done. The old roof were no good. Like I said, it were full of holes. So, yeah, that's it, guys. 130,000 pesos to buy this as a shell. So that's it as a shell. Right, so I hope I've tried to explain, but that's what I thought. Why have they built this house like this, straight wall? Now, that's a problem for us now. You know, if they'd have just took time to come off it, but that's how they think. They think, oh, you know, if I can get it a little bit cheaper, or they've run out of land, and they can't go any further with the land because it's the neighbour's land. So that's the only thing I can think. I mean, I can actually ask the neighbours, you know, why did they build it like that? And I'm sure they probably would tell me, because they might know, or they might not know, I don't know. So that's it. Right, I'm going in at food time, I think. So I think I'm going to go to Mambakal this morning. But like I said, you're going to need a motorbike out here, so you better buy a new motorbike. Because I actually did go and look at some motorbikes. Wow. I'm not joking, I want to give you $10. I want to give you 10 for them. And they were asking like 60, 50,000 pesos. Well, to buy that XTZ there, to buy that brand new XTZ there, 125, and it's a new bike, that actually cost me, I think it was either 89,000 or 98,000. If you check my previous videos, you'll know, I'll say 89,000 pesos, which in England it would have cost double that. You wouldn't have bought that second hand in England, but here you can buy it brand new for that price. That's a cheap bike. Now, did I want a 125? No, I didn't. I wanted a 300 CRF or a KLX. I wanted at least a 300, a 500. So why did I buy that one? Because I didn't have budget to buy a better bike. Simple as that. So that's it, guys. You know, we did have a lot of help to buy this land. And this property, sorry, we did have a lot of help to buy this property. So that meant we got the property very, very cheap. So we got it cheap. But like I said, we still spent a lot of money. You know, you can see we changed design actually, so to speak. That were a window. We didn't think it were a good idea to have a window like that in the bedroom. So that's it, look. So that's what we've done. So, and I had to put this up to stop dogs getting out. So that's it. That's it, guys. You know, but this, you can see a lot of work. So I hope I've answered your questions. So guys, I hope I've answered your questions. Have a great day, have a great morning, take care, God bless. Right, if you're thinking of moving to the Philippines, you know, you can send me a message, you can call me, go on to Messenger, go on to WhatsApp, send me a message because, you know, this is my third time here in Philippines. You know, I mean, it's not just the first island I've been to Manila, you know, so if you've got a lot of money, you know, you've cracked it. You know, I ain't got a lot of money, so that's as simple as it goes. But if you need to send a message, send me a message, you know, and I'll answer your questions, or I'll try and help you, so to speak. Simple as that, really. I'll try and be helpful. But we had a lot of help with this house. There's no way I'd have bought this house for 100. What's that? 1,000 quid? Is that 1,000 English quid? 1,250 pace. Sorry, $1,250, something like that, to buy this house. Add it up, I don't know what it is. So it still needs a lot of money spending on it. But wow, it's a cheap. It's a very, 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 very cheap house. Because in England, you know, just to buy a tiny bit of land, you know, you probably want 100,000 quid. And like I said, you just would not buy this lifestyle. So guys, wherever you want to end up in the Philippines, whether it's a subdivision, it's your choice. I just don't like subdivisions. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of nice subdivisions, but you know, don't think they're problem-free subdivisions, because they're not. So it's your choice, you know. If you want to come here, I hope you enjoy your life, you know, be happy, buy a dog, buy a motorbike, or just sit in the house all day and relax. It's up to you. So take care, God bless. But yeah, so the end of the house, what goes straight down, that's what I thought. A firewall? Well, what's a firewall? Well, why didn't they go straight down? You know, with roof. You know, it makes sense. And the only thing I can put that down to, guys, is price. Or they run out of land. And, you know, that's it. That wall's the end of the land. But they could have still designed the roof. But like I said, it's the end of the land. So why didn't they go straight out? And the only thing I can think is just price. So it's basically price. And that's it. Right, take care, God bless. You know, I hope I've answered your questions. So that's it now, till I get budget. And there's something else as well, you know, you have to pay for your visa. So I'll chat about your visa. Now, like I said, your visa's quite cheap. But if you ain't got money to pay your visa, then you're here illegally. So, like I said, I might have to leave Philippines sooner or later. If I'm not monetized very soon, I'll be leaving the Philippines. I don't know where I'll be ending up, but that's life. You know, we will cross that bridge when we get to it. Thumbs up, take care, God bless. Please like, please subscribe, please share the videos, make a comment. That's what you call a nice cup of coffee. Absolutely beautiful. What do you think to that then? Absolutely excellent.